Welcome to Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County's Clubcast, where we're excited to share with you that our community does whatever it takes to build great futures. I'm Melanie Wiles, your host, the Chief Operating Officer for Boys and Girls Clubs. Today, we are very excited to have a distinguished guest with us, Dr. Donna Mills, who's going to share with us her involvement in our 25th anniversary celebration and also how our community has come together to make the best effect on our youth. Dr. Mills, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Melanie.
We're so excited to have you share your story and share your experience with Boys and Girls Clubs.
My pleasure.
Let's get started with your organization that you founded with your husband, Save Our Children, and tell us a little bit about how our community needs to know how you're impacting the lives of children, but also the community as a whole.
Okay, our organization started in 1986. It's called Save Our Children, and we have been located on Avenue D that entire time, and we work with children after school as well. We really focus on their academics and their social skills, character building. And when our kids walk in the door, they automatically are trained. I hope that's a good word to use because that's what we have to do, raise up children in the way they should go. So when they come in the door, they speak to everyone. Good afternoon, everybody. So, you know, this is part of the social skills. This is part of behavior, knowing how to relate to other people. But we really focus on working with the teacher in the classroom. We make sure that their homework is done, that it's done correctly. And so we check every child's homework. We don't want to send them home to the parents and then, you know, supposedly they've done their homework and then the parent looks at it and it looks atrocious. We don't want that to happen. So we are very diligent about explaining and helping them through the process of learning through their homework. We also work with them with the spelling words that the school district provides, the public school district provides. So we have like from K to 5th grade, and every week they learn new spelling words. If they don't come with them, we have a list there for them. So if they come in and say they don't have homework, we have a comprehension sheet, we have a multiplication sheet that they're working on memorization. So we do a lot of academics with our children and exercising the mind. Positive affirmations are taught. And so we have a lot of fun, but we have very high expectations that our children are excelling. And as a community, this is important because if we bring up children, even though those children that are challenging or are being challenged in life, if we work as a village to make a difference in our children's lives, many of the children are being raised up with single parents now, grandparents, foster care. There are children that need us out there that don't have what they need at home. So we want to provide that for all children to be successful. Our school motto here is all children are capable of success, no exceptions. And that's a mindset that we as adults need to take on. When we see a child, we need to look for that treasure that exists in every single child and do what we can to bring that treasure out. And that's what we do at Save Our Children.
I think that's amazing. And as a member of St. Lucie Public Schools School Board, and also we've selected you as an honorary chair for our 25th anniversary celebration. But the reasoning behind that is because you do emulate whatever it takes to build a great future. You just gave us an example of that on how you go above and beyond to serve those children. And with your experience with the schools and how you push forward and really identify the needs of the kids, I think that's very important. What we're excited about leading into our event that's on April 24th is that we have honorary chairs like yourself that are going to be sharing what the needs are of the children, how we as a community are fulfilling those needs, and how we can dream ahead for what we want for them for the future. So we spoke about, we have a breakfast, it's called our Founders Breakfast, that will be part of that day as well, and we're excited to have you as a part of that. We also have a luncheon as well that is our Great Futures Luncheon. And I think yourself, along with our other chairs and some of our guest speakers, Jim Clark, president of Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and Andre Reed, who's an NFL Hall of Famer, we'll all be talking about that premise that you mentioned. It does take a village to raise a child.
It does. You cannot have enough after-school programs out there.
Yes.
And what I love about the Boys and Girls Club is that you have, like, I think 20 different sites.
Yes.
Community sites, or is that with the school and community?
Yes,
But
20 total, yes.
yeah, so you can't have enough. We've been there on Avenue D since '86, and there are other after-school programs, and we cannot get enough. Sometimes they say, well, you shouldn't duplicate too many No, every child needs to be reached. And the only way that's going to happen is if we all work as a village and understand that we need to duplicate over and over and over again so that other children can benefit in some way within the community. And that helps the community.
Absolutely.
Financially, it helps us. It brings people here because you're preventing children from possibly going into crime, committing crime. You are raising the grade level for the school district. So when people come in and they search for homes, and people are looking for schools that are performing well, and all together we make this difference. Not just the school district, but the community programs after school have a lot of power in making a difference in children's lives.
Well, I want you to share with us, with your experience over the last years we've worked together, what one of your favorite memories is, one of the club kids that you've had some experience with, our staff, or just a favorite club memory in general. Okay, well,
not even a week ago, in fact, it was just this past Saturday, I was sitting in a program. It was an African American history program, and at one of the churches. And a young lady gets up, and she starts talking about the difference that Boys and Girls Club have made in her life. She even made an announcement about your 25th anniversary celebration. And she talked how it was a great influence for her to be a member of the Boys and Girls Club. And then she turns to my husband and I and say, and also to save our children. So what that lets me know is that children can't get enough of positive influences. With the Kids at Hope Pledge, we talk about 4 ACEs. And each ACE represents a supportive individual in a child's life. And so, that's what that brought back to me as she got up and said what she said. And then she did not only come by herself, but she brought about 10 little people with her. And so they were exposed to this Black African American history program, exposed to more of the community. Maybe some of them don't belong to churches or whatever, but she brought these kids to expose them to this. And she said that the reason why she was able to do it is because of her own influence that she received as a member of the Boys and Girls Club and participated in the Save Our Children program.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the village.
Okay.
So we took the village concept and we're bringing in that to our event to celebrate the anniversary. We actually have an area outside of the Mid-Florida Event Center that we are creating that's called the Village.
Okay.
And we've invited Save Our Children, and we've invited multiple nonprofits and other organizations to really set up a table, set up a child's activity, and really showcase how we're all here for our families, we're all here for our children together. And we're excited about showcasing that day. The premise of the event that we're having, as you know, is to help raise awareness and raise funds for 3 of our priority areas, one being specialized programs, one being upgraded facilities, and then the other piece is transportation.
Okay.
So you and I spoke a little bit briefly about dreaming for our kids in the future. So if we were to look forward to Boys and Girls Club's 50th anniversary in 2044, what are some things that you can envision for our community after us working together to get these things for our children?
Well, I can envision more clubs, okay, and more after-school programs that will address the need of our children. I can envision that maybe we really get into the arts more. where children will be able to come and learn instruments, how to play instruments that may not have had that opportunity. My grands, all three of my grands were exposed to playing piano at a very young age. And my 4-year-old, 8-year-old, and 14-year-old, well, the 14-year-old plays superior now because of his exposure. And he absolutely loves it. And then the 8-year-old also is very good. And we just started the 4-year-old. So I think we need to do more of that because children love music. They love dancing. I think we need to address those areas. They love sports. So in the future, I like to see even more of that being done within the programs to a much larger extent. Expose them to things like golf and, bowling and things that they would not normally get to do. Maybe we have someone that's a champion on our hands that we saw. In the future, I look forward to the programs being more enhanced and the facilities being able to be more enhanced, and that we can provide the transportation free of charge to children, whether they're coming directly from the school district or directly from home, but that we have the funding needed to give whatever we need to do to make a difference in that child's life.
Well, I like your vision.
Thank you.
And I know at the club that we share that, and I'm very excited that you're a part of our anniversary celebration, that you've been a part of our past, that we both share in supporting children in this community and teenagers.
Well, I have to tell you that Will Armstead, which is your CEO, long time, when he first became, even before he became the CEO of Boys and Girls Club of St. Lucie County, he was very instrumental in working with us in our program. And so he continues. He's a speaker on my program, the Speakers Bureau, and whenever we're asking him to come, he comes. That's what the village does.
Love it.
The village looks out for each other, and it's not limited to your program or my program, but it's limited to our programs.
Well, I really appreciate you being with us today and sharing your insight. We look forward to having you at our 25th anniversary on April 24th.
I look forward to being there.
And we're very excited. We're going to share with you a special video coming up that prepares us for our Fishing for Futures tournament that takes place on April 4th. So stay tuned for that video.
Hi, I'm Rick Miller. I'd like to invite you to join us for the Boys and Girls Club's Fishing for Future fishing tournament on April 4th. This event, originally planned for August, was rescheduled due to bad weather, which means you still have time to sign up as a sponsor, fishing team, volunteer, or supporter. Inshore and offshore fishing, tours of the Manatee Center, children's activities, and most important for the fishing teams, $12,000 in prize money. Sign up today at bgcfslc.org. Sponsored by Villafranco and Garcia, your hometown attorneys.
Welcome back. We hope that commercial lured your interest into participating in our Fishing for Futures tournament on April 4th. That is just one of many experiences that we're involving the community, but also giving our children an engaging experience, as those children will be on a fishing tour that day to participate in the weigh-in as well. Today, I'm very excited to have John Gehrig here from Firestone, who also has put together some amazing experiences for our kids and our teenagers especially in workforce readiness. John, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been able to provide for our teenagers and our club kids as far as trips to Daytona, workforce readiness field trips, and their upcoming trip to Miami?
So what we set out for was initially I had joined in and had a field trip down here and said, hey, I want to see your club. And Megan at the time had shown me everything about the club and said, hey, we need some help here. And it's, like they said before, it takes a village. And they said, hey, we need transportation. So it started off with, let's get you guys a van. So we got you guys a van within like 6 months through Bridgestone Corporate, which was an amazing experience. And that was something that I took great pride in. And we got to bring a group of kids out to the store. We got to have a mock interview with them. I got to teach them how to do tires, mount tires, balance tires, the basics of an oil change, stuff like that. And that was really cool, seeing a lot of kids engage, and they thought, hey, this isn't something I'd know how to do or something I'd be able to do. And they looked at it and said, I could do this. You know, you have to put the kid on the spot and say, hey, yeah, break that tire down. You're not going to hurt anything. You're not going to hurt me. You're not going to hurt yourself. Watch. This is going to be cool. And this is fun. This is, you know, something they might want to do in their life. And that was a really cool thing to be able to do that. And hopefully we can go forward and get some more kids in, interview them. We always have openings between my store, other stores. We have partners and parts vendors, stuff like that. They're always looking for people. Where if I interview them and say, hey, you know what, this kid, he's going places. And we have a lot of kids in this community that are going places. We could say, hey, you know what, he's going to come work for me. He's going to come work for the parts store next to me. And we're going to put these kids to work instead of worrying about, you know, where are they going to do with their lives, or, you know, because a lot of the stuff we do doesn't require going to 4 years of college. It requires just having a good head on your shoulders and the willingness to come to work every day and learn. And, you know, we have the ongoing education for the kids. And that's something that we try to, you know, pride ourselves in doing as a company, is being more engaged with the community and kind of, you know, walk the talk and not just say, hey, we take money at the kiosk here for Boys and Girls Club. And I take great pride in when a customer comes in, pays their bill and says, well, I want to donate to Boys and Girls Club today because it shows up there if they could donate. They say, but does it go to the local kids? And I could just point back, and there's a whole picture of the van presentation from the field trip last year, or the field day, excuse me. And I could say, you know what, you know, this goes right to local. We gave, Bridgestone as a whole gave $4 million to Boys and Girls Club last year. But I want to see other store managers from my company. I want to see other people from all companies, you know, step up to the plate and say, hey, you know what, let's go help these kids. And we got together with Daytona last month, and we took a group of kids out to the Busch Clash, which was an awesome experience. We got to take them down onto the track for the pre-race festivities. They got to, you know, high-five all the drivers and stuff like that. And, you know, my wife, she does catering. They made them all lunch, so they all got to bring lunch there, and we had a great time. And we're going to do the same thing in April. We're going to take the group of kids down to Jackie Robinson Day in Miami. So we get to see the Marlins play the Angels, and that's going to be a fun thing. Everyone's going to wear number 42, and we all get to see Mike Trout. So that's, you know, that's the best fishing reference I have for you guys, Mike Trout. I'm sorry. But it's a super exciting opportunity that I get being able to work with the Boys and Girls Club this closely.
Well, your passion is very evident, and whatever it takes to build great futures is part of what you've really instilled in all the actions you've taken to support the club. So there's two areas that you've supported our 25th anniversary campaign. One you alluded to with the transportation and helping us secure our first van for our club members to be able to experience all of those wonderful things, all of those wonderful trips that you were able to supply for them. And the second being the enhancing programs. So workforce readiness is very important to us and our teens, and we're very fortunate as an organization to be able to serve hundreds of teens. So from what I was hearing from you, that hands-on experience seemed to be very important to you as a company and also to the teenagers. So for parents that we're trying to encourage to enroll their teenagers and their younger kids in our programs, are there things that you can see on the forefront and in the future that you'd like to partner with Boys and Girls Club on?
I would absolutely love to be able to, just even if it was like apprenticeship. So, you know, if I had a different kid in every week to my store after school or whatever, to say, hey, you know what, if you want to learn how to do office work, and it's not really just office work, it's engaging with customers, it's handling money, it's, you know, being courteous on the phone, being professional, stuff like that. It doesn't matter if you're in the automotive field, if you're working at fast food, it doesn't matter. The customer service is the same everywhere. And if we can get that feeling across to the kids where, hey, I can do this, and they can step up and say, you know what, I was at the Firestone Fort Pierce, and they taught me how to speak to a customer. They taught me how to be polite, you know, how to overcome adversity of an upset customer yelling at you, and how to handle it professionally, and they could take that onto their work life and go do something. That'd be phenomenal. And to also be able to say, you know what, maybe for a lot of kids here, 4 years of college or, whatever isn't feasible financially. Hey, you don't have to do that. Maybe you can go to the community college and get some automotive classes. You say, hey, I want to be a mechanic, and do that at nights and come work for us during the days. And the money's there. It's not this is a terrible paying job. There's a huge hole in the field right now. They're saying 500,000 people short within the next 10 years. That's a lot of opportunities. And that's honestly a lot of people that are just scared of advancement in the profession, where they say, oh, electronics are scary and this and that, and I don't want to do it. And all their kids now, they all know how to use computers. It's just that on a grand scale. So I have faith that most of the kids that come out here can do this. And it's just about someone's willing to take them and teach them how to do it.
Well, we invest a lot in our workforce readiness program, but we couldn't do what we do without partners like you. One of the things that we do teach the kids on the back end that you've helped us support is developing their soft skills. So working them through a program like that, doing the emotional intelligence piece to build up their self-esteem, build up their capacity, and then also bringing you in to give that hands-on trade work and understanding the logistics and all the opportunities that are available right in their backyard for when they finish school and whatever next step is for them. So we appreciate that. The other piece you had talked about is helping the Boys and Girls Club to get their first piece of transportation. So the day that the kids got their first van, it was a surprise. Can you tell us a little bit about the celebration that day and what it looked like?
That was definitely one of the coolest things that I've ever done. It was definitely one of the proudest moments my dad had ever seen, because he was sick at the time, and getting to come home and show him the video and stuff was amazing. And because he always took pride in helping the kids. My mom she owned a private school. She took pride in helping the kids. That's something that I took with me into my professional life is, I can go to work every day and, hey, it's a job, it's a paycheck like that. But at the end of the day, I go home and I say, hey, there's more to life than that. There's got to be something, and it's helping the kids. So being able to work on the whole big surprise and the build-up of, hey, there's this van coming here. We're going to get some tires on it. We got Advanced Auto Parts to fill the entire back of it with Gatorade for us. Oh. That way, when they had their field day, everyone had drinks. And we had the police escort come, and Will came over, and we went down the road there and had all the sirens going. And they had the big fancy bow on the van that they said will go 45 miles an hour that won't go over 20. And we got to put that back on, and then got to make all the noises. Kids loved the sirens, and got to come in and have some fun and give the kids their van. And it's been awesome just seeing on social media, seeing all these other companies step up to the plate and follow where we started this, and knowing that, hey, you guys started with an old beat-up van that you guys brought to my store a year ago that wasn't good to take out of St. Lucie County, and now we have a fleet of vans here, and we could take it to the Marlins Stadium, we could take it to Daytona. If we could take it to a Magic game or something like that, we will. But we can go places now, and that's an awesome collaboration that we've started.
Well, we have come so far since your initial gift. And one of the things that our club is looking forward to, and our 25th anniversary committee is looking forward to, is on April 24th at the Mid-Florida Event Center, when we host our event for the entire community. We want to park our fleet so everyone can see it. We want to have the minivan that we were provided by you. We want to have our other 5 buses, the 15 passenger vans, showcasing this is what everyone has pulled together to achieve for our kids, and our kids are going places thanks to everybody rallying around them. Now, if you had the platform to be able to tell other businesses or other individuals, what is it worth to put an investment in a child? What was your experience working with our kids, whether it was hands-on in the shop or even taking a trip? Why are they worth that investment?
My experience is just seeing the kids light up, seeing the excitement of things they've never done before. And will they see it again? Maybe, probably, hopefully. But knowing that this is opening doorways to them of things that just brand new, because I know that most of the kids that are in this community knew nothing about NASCAR until a month ago. And then to get that hands-on experience and be able to do something like that. You know, they might go home on Sunday, they might turn on the race and say, you know what, I was there. I high-fived that driver. You know, and that becomes an interest to them going forward of just a passion for something. And maybe one of the kids goes on to go be a crew chief for a NASCAR team in 20 years. Great. And then we could say, you know what, Firestone of Fort Pierce helped get that kid in that position to move them up to what they wanted to become. And that's a really special thing to our company as a whole, because we pride ourselves on making sure that we're the centerpiece of every neighborhood that we serve, and making sure that we could be hands-on, take care of our kids. And I want all of my other companies, my Tires Plus companies, all that, I want store managers like that, I want them to step up to the plate too. They can do the same thing that I'm doing. There's a lot more than St. Lucie County. I want to see it countrywide. We can do this.
All right, so we're going to take this thing across the whole country, right?
Let's do it.
Well, John, I'm so excited that you came today to share your experience with our Boys and Girls Club, to tell us about how you invested in our kids and in our programs and really opened up their eyes to so much. We're excited that you were with us today for our Clubcast. Again, we want to encourage everyone to join us on April 24th for our Boys and Girls Club 25th anniversary community celebration. It's an all-day event starting at 8:30 with our Founders Breakfast, moving into our Great Futures Lunch with Jim Clark and Andre Reed, and going into a family event in the community that afternoon. We look forward to seeing you all there, and have a wonderful day.